Hi everybody, my name is Mark Gallagher. This is my new podcast, first podcast. This is the Insomnia Running Club podcast. I just want to start by saying Happy New Year, Happy 2020, the start of it. This is another reason why I'm, starting a podcast. This is my 1st of January, first goal started. I wanted to start a podcast and here we go. Just want to say, first of all, thank you for taking the time to listen to what I've got to say. Hopefully you'll get something good from it. Hopefully you'll be interested in what we have to say, or what I have to say. I'm excited about it. I'm also extremely nervous about it, but I am looking forward to hopefully creating a bit of community and communicating with people, and hopefully touching a few people and helping them in doing whatever challenges or whatever goals they've set for themselves. So the idea behind this podcast is really just to share stories and how-tos and just current goings on and following sort of progress of things. I have recently started a running club. It's called the Insomnia Running Club, hence the name of the podcast. Yes, the Insomnia Running Club started it. It's a local club. It is a running club, I think, like no other. We get up in the morning and run before the sun's in the sky. Generally we are up and running from 5:30 in the morning, covering distances, local people, having a chat, having a bit of crack, talking about absolutely everything, conversations, sharing stories about training, sharing stories about nutrition, sharing stories about current affairs, chatting about what's going on, asking advice, talking about races, talking about challenges, talking about inspiring people we've met. Just anything to get us fired up, really, is what it is. And it's exciting. I wanted to take the idea from the running club and put it out there on a podcast, just to touch a bigger audience and get, like I say, get a community feel, get people talking, having a bit of chat, sharing with us what they're doing. I love to hear stories about people, mad people, like people that, I don't know, turned 40 and all of a sudden decided they want to go out and run the 100 mile that night, and they did it, and whatever the consequences of it was, they were doing it. Or people who, I know, lose a limb and decide to swim a channel. I don't know. I love hearing those types of inspiring stories from people. It fires me up, and I like to think I'm trying to create one of them stories myself. Maybe I haven't any hardship as much as that, but I mean, definitely I'm on a mission to make myself as strong and as physically fit as I can. But pretty much the background into me is I am a father of two, a husband, normal suburban lifestyle, car salesman, who has just recently become addicted to endurance sports. I started selling cars now over 11 years ago. Whenever I started selling cars, I was an athlete in super shape from a previous career doing taekwondo, and then became a salesman and decided that sitting at a desk and talking a load of rubbish all day and eating cake and not really moving too far from a desk, and then coming home and having a few beers to chill out the day and maybe a takeaway, decided that lifestyle, maybe nearly touching 16 stone at 5'7", wasn't really the best plan. I'm still selling cars, mind you. I still have to pay the bills, but definitely my lifestyle has changed dramatically. It was a case of, over the years, you just don't see it happen. And I speak to so many people, and that is just kind of the thing. The younger life, they play football, they're on their bike, they're doing whatever sport, playing hockey, playing Gaelic, basketball, you name it. There's so many people out there doing different things. But then, you know, they do get caught up in the rat race, and all of a sudden earning a few quid, earning a few bob becomes mightily important. And people are all about just going into that lifestyle, and everything becomes too comfortable and too cushy, and all of a sudden you find yourself with man boobs and band the 36-inch waist trousers with the stretchy waist in them, just to peacify yourself, and it's no good. It's no good. It's not healthy. It's no good. It's not inspiring anybody. You're not doing yourself any favours. So about 2 years ago, I decided enough was enough. Having the kids, I could barely keep up with them. I remember one of the definite turning points was my son. I was running down the stairs after him, but I had my daughter in my arms. She was a tiny little baby at this point, and my hips were clicking, getting up and down the stairs. I was out of breath. I was sweaty. 30 years old, out of breath, sweaty, a total mess going up and down the stairs. It's no good. So pretty much I decided randomly, because I was before an elite athlete, you know, I performed at the top level of things. I just thought, you know, I have to do something drastic that changed my way. So you don't tell anybody these things, you know. Whenever you have these thoughts in your head of what's this drastic thing I'm gonna do, you don't tell anybody. You go in yourself, and it becomes your dirty little secret. I found that's not maybe the best approach to things, or it doesn't manifest into what you want if that is your approach to things. But we'll talk more about that after. But pretty much came up with the idea in my head that I wanted to do a full distance, iron distance triathlon. I'm able to swim. I was able to swim, but I mean, it was literally doggy paddling. You know, whenever you go on holiday, you'll get in the pool once a day for the week or the 2 weeks you're there, and you'll think you're great. You think you're the next Michael Phelps, but really you're not. You can't swim the length of yourself. So that was the state of play there. Obviously, it was very, very heavy as well. Even whenever I was doing taekwondo and I weighed just under 10 stone, I fought at minus 62 kilograms. I hated running. Really, the maintenance for keeping weight was like a 3 mile run. That was it. Anything past a 3 mile run, don't ask me to do it, because I'm not doing it. I wouldn't be happy doing it. I would much rather kick paddles and spar and do all the other circuits all day long. But running was my idea of hell. I like bikes, but I've never had a road bike. The thought of going out on the road, cars zooming past you all the time, wasn't really appealing to me either. But this was the scariest thing I could think of. In my head, I thought, right, there's other easy things I could do, but this was the hardest one that I could come up with. So pretty much I signed up for the White Bear Extreme Triathlon, which I completed in August of this year, or last year, 2019. I in my thought process being, well, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need some warm-up races. I signed myself up for the 2019 Belfast City Marathon. I signed myself up for the Carrickfergus Sprint Triathlon. I also signed myself up for the Dunleary 70.3 half iron distance triathlon. And then I also threw in randomly, one day I completed what was called the Iron Dad Challenge, which I joined a man, again another inspiring story. I'm sure I can share with you at some stage, of a man called Declan Loy, who done 32 half iron distance triathlons in 32 consecutive days in the 32 counties of Ireland. So yeah, that's pretty mental and out there, and that's the type of people I love, that I sort of gravitate to at the minute. But yes, that's my story. I went from doing absolutely nothing, you know, couch potato, a total mess, to becoming an Ironman. Yeah, an Ironman, and now I've got the thirst for it. Now, you know, that pretty much these challenges or these feats of endurance, what they give you, in part what you learn from them, how you develop, is just unbelievable. So yeah, pretty much from that, from going to one place, and I'll explain the journey of how the Iron Man came about, because it's not just training. You don't just turn up to training every day and all of a sudden you become an Ironman, or you do an Ironman. There's so much involved in it, so much in your life that you have to focus, your goals, your mindset, your priorities, your way of thinking, how you become as a person, in order to complete such a mammoth task like that. Does change your life. Once you get a piece of it, it is, well, once I've got a piece, I can only speak for me, but once I've got a piece of it, I am now a changed person. You're almost, what's the thing, you're searching for that next thing. How can I be on that edge? How can I learn again? How can I push my body that I'm on fire, I'm on top of it, I am firing on all cylinders. That's literally how you become through this journey. You become something else up here. Your head changes, and you just get fired up beyond belief. But again, we'll touch more on what that is, or what that feeling is, and how you go about doing that too. But yeah, the other side of the podcast, the Insomnia Running Club podcast, sort of reflects the club, or the style of the club as well. I didn't come from a running background, nor swimming background, nor cycling background. My background was watching what was on the TV from 8 o'clock at night to 11 o'clock at night. That was pretty much my sport of choice. Running clubs, and I'm not dissing running clubs and cycling clubs at all, because now we have a running club, but definitely where I live, they're very, not to be derogatory towards them, but they are very they're one way. This is the club timetable. It's very 9 to 5, only suits 9 to 5 people. I don't have a 9 to 5 lifestyle. My job doesn't allow me to be 9 to 5. It just doesn't work that way. But I say our thought behind the club was, let's do something that a club isn't doing. And like many things, sometimes you come up with an idea and you go, well, I'm not qualified to do that. I have never been coached in running. Yes, I've completed running marathons, but I wouldn't class myself as a runner. So what's the audacity for you to even start a running club? We all know how to run. You put one foot in front of the other. Even at the top end of things, just to pick one sort of extreme case, you look at Paula Radcliffe. She runs completely different to anybody else with her weird arm thing that she does. That woman was an Olympian, a champion. So you can't just say you have to be in a running club and this is the way you have to run, and this is the pipeline of how you get from couch to 5k to marathon and blah blah blah. That's not the way it works. You can just go out, you can put on a pair of trainers and a pair of shorts, you can run down the road, you can then develop from that at your own pace. Just if you have it in your head that you want to do a certain something, you do not necessarily need someone there to tell you the pipeline. I find too much now, people look to be qualified in something before they move to the next stage, rather than just saying, this is what I want, I'm gonna go and get it. Ignorance, people say ignorance is a bad thing. Ignorance can be a good thing. Your own ignorance of going, no, I can't do this stuff, the pipeline stuff, the how-tos and whatever. I'm just gonna make it happen. And you can just go out and make it happen, point blank. That's it. You can. I've done it. I know loads and loads of other people who have done it. Some of the biggest success stories you hear in the world, not even so much in running, but in anything, in people in catering, people in business, athletes, fighters, anybody, they haven't had, they haven't had to go and study for months to get a working knowledge of something today and have to go and do it. Bullshit. Just go and do it. Just go and do it. So that's part of the Insomnia running club. Is we're not here to tell you how you should be running and what distances you should be doing and what pace. Literally, we put up a timetable. If it suits you to come out, you come out. If you're running at one pace, you're running at one pace. If you're running at another, you're running at another. If someone has a sore leg, everybody else in the club will tell you what they did to get rid of their sore leg, and you sort it out for yourself. There isn't a case of having to train what way to strike your foot against the ground. You will sort that out. So yeah, we're kind of the black sheep of running, I suppose. Very, very, very new club as well. We're a very new club. It hasn't been even a year yet that we've been going, but it's going strong. We have a few solid members there, and hopefully in the new year we'll be getting more. But yeah, pretty much we go out in the mornings. We share stories about inspiring people. We share stories about what books we're reading. You come in at the end of a run, whether you've sweated your nuts off or not, but you feel fired up for the day. Your head's right for the day. You've exercise in the bag. You are ready to rock and roll. So if I can take that being the message, and if I can put that out on the podcast, and while you're going to work, or I don't know, you're in the gym, you're out on a run, if this is something that you can listen to and relate to, and hopefully follow us along the way. There's a few big things we've got planned. It should be a bit of crack, and it should be a bit of fun. So yeah, it is. It's a cool thing, and you've joined us right at the very, very, very start of it. So yeah, that's pretty much the Insomnia Running Club. What we have planned really to talk about in the future is mindset. How you go from having a thought in your head and how you actually go about getting that, how to get started. Really, I can't tell you much more. The getting started bit is the most important bit of the whole thing. Once you get started, once I think you get the notion of these things out of your head, they then start to manifest themselves into actually happening. You have it's a cliche, and you hear it in so many, personal development things, and anything. Anytime you go on Instagram, there's always a motivational thing about this as well, but it is the truth. Your thoughts, you can actually turn into physical manifestation of those thoughts. You can achieve them. You can turn your dreams into a reality. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how you get started with your mindset. You're also going to talk about the importance of why you're doing something. As you know, this is the new year. This is the 1st of January. There is always New Year's resolutions. I'm going to drop 2 stone. I'm going to fit into a wee nice black dress. I am going to be looking mint for next year's Christmas party. I want a 6-pack for going away in summer holidays. I want to stop smoking. I want to be drinking less. I want to save a few quid. All these things are all the best intentions, and I think we all have them. But we don't have a why. We don't have a why we're doing them, or the why isn't strong enough to keep us going with them. Because we all want these things. This is the modern world. We all want to be rich and famous, and we all want to drive the fancy car and have the money in the bank and the big fancy house. It's class. But is that really what you want? Is that the why you're doing something? Is the why you're doing something that you want to feel comfortable in your own skin? Is the why that you're doing something that you want to provide a better life for your family? Is the why you're doing something that you want to be around longer. You actually want to physically be here and be vital. To see your grandkids grow up, to see your own kids grow up, to walk somebody down the aisle. Is the why you're doing something, is the story you're telling yourself what you actually want? Are you actually being true with yourself? What is the why? What is the why that you want to do something? Because if that is strong enough, the other stuff falls into place. You hear so many things about it at the minute, like, you see so much shite, to be honest, everywhere. All this motivational stuff, and it's got someone at the top of a mountain, and he's, looking longingly in the distance, and it's like, I want this, and whatever, it's a load of cake, really. You can read that all day long. That may get you hyped up for 5 minutes, right? But really and truly, for example, you're 8 hours into the cycle of an Ironman, and you're looking down the next step of being 26.2 miles doing a marathon, and your arse is chewed to pieces from being on that saddle for so long. Your legs are burning, lungs are throbbing, you feel like a mess, you've been out in the pouring rain, your nipples are chafed off you, and you've yet to get through a marathon. You've yet to go and do a marathon. What is the why that gets you there? At that point, unless you're running for £1 million, does you wanting wanting £1 million in your bank account, does that get you to the finish line of that race? Does it? Balls. There is a better reason. There's a big reason. There's something that you need to prove to yourself. There's a bigger thing that you need to do. So the why is so important. It's so important. So yes, the mindset to get going. We're going to talk about the why you need to do, or why the why is so important is what we will talk about as well. And just the other big thing is who you surround yourself with. You've got moving, you've got your why. All of a sudden you're talking to everybody, and everybody's going, why is it geek? You're never gonna do an Ironman. Look at the state. You got man boobs and your hole's massive. You're never doing it. If you surround yourself with people like that, negative people who can't see themselves doing anything, you're beat. You're beat from the start. You need to find the people who want to see you do well. If you can surround yourself with people who want to see you do well, you're on to a winner. On your shite day, whenever you are beat up, your knees are clicking, you're beat, you're run down, you're feeling, why am I doing this? And you talk to someone and you're giving them the whole pity party, and they turn around and go, sure, look, you're up doing this in the morning. You're out at 4 o'clock, you're doing great, man. Keep her lit, just keep going. I don't know anybody else that's doing it. I honestly think you're going to do it. I have no doubt in my mind you're going to do it. Those are the type of people you want to be surrounding yourself with, not the, mate, I am busted, I got 4 hours sleep last night because I was up doing such and such, and then I had to get out on the bike and all, and I'm just beat up, my knees are sore, feel like I'm living on painkillers. And the person at the other side goes, just sure, stop, mate, sure, look, you've lost a bit of weight, that's dead on, is that not all you wanted, sure, that's dead on, sure, look, none of the rest of us are doing all that. You don't need to do all that to kill yourself. That's someone who's putting their own doubts and their own negativity and their own negative spin on things. Those people are toxic, whenever it comes to you wanting to do better for yourself. And that, so, yeah, that's another part of it. Who you surround yourself. Surround yourself with people who genuinely want to see you do well. That I think that relates in any part of life, definitely sporting, coaching, Coaching is a word that's thrown about the place all the time now, life coaches and coaching this and coaching that. I only think of coaching, I've had some great coaches myself, my taekwondo coach, who just builds you as a person. Yes, their job is to do this one thing, but coaching just develops you as a whole person. You have bosses will boss. you know, leaders and coaches, they will get you to places, and again, that's people you want to be surrounding yourself with. So yeah, I've went off on one completely there. But this is kind of the whole thing of what we will talk about on the podcast in weeks and months and hopefully years to come. We'll keep talking about it. But it's exciting. It's the type of stuff that fires me up now that I have been through the other side of it and I'm living in it. I wouldn't say I'm nowhere near finished doing what I want to do, but definitely I have made the first move and I've got started. It is exciting. It's class stuff. And the running club and what it embodies and the whole idea behind it, and this podcast, it's all about what I'm wanting to do, and this is the next step and the next chapter. So listen, thank you very, very much for listening to me rant on for 26 minutes or whatever it is. The next ones, it'll not be so much me just rambling on about all that I want to do. It'll be a bit more focused and a bit more structured into, or maybe not. Maybe we'll just go loosey-goose and just whatever, talk about it and spin a yarn. But definitely share my story with you as to, in a bit more detail as to what gets you to a point where you're just done and you want better. And there's loads of people out there that just want to do better and they don't know where to start or how to start. So yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun, and hopefully you'll join me for the next one, and hopefully you'll get something from it, and hopefully you will give me some feedback and communicate, or if there's anything you're wanting to talk about regarding getting moving, getting started, taekwondo, running, triathlon, swimming, anything that I might have the slightest, tiniest little notion about, and I can help you and I can share with you, please do let me know. But listen, it's been a pleasure talking to you so far. Thank you very much for listening. Happy New Year. I really, really, really hope that 2020 is a great year for you. I know I have big, massive things planned for me in my life, and I hope we can hear from you and play a part in any of the big things you're looking to do in 2020 for yourself. So listen, thanks again. All the best. Bye.